This is Sally and Richard Blackburn, whom Albert affectionately called the Bobs. We've known Albert for just 10 years, but he's been a beautiful friend. Music was a part of it. Albert graced our modest stage a number of times, and we've spent many evenings at his place playing and singing together, from Bob Dylan to David Bowie. We shared Albert's joy in the special magic of performing for an audience, but also the crippling anxiety that so often comes with that. Albert encouraged and promoted our music making, as he did so many other local musicians. When we first met him, we were ready to give up music for good. But Albert's advice was not to give up, but never to have more than 5 musicians in a band. Hence the band An Evening with Bob was born, a 5-piece, and so it stayed, and will go down as our happiest time of our musical lives. We'll miss Albert's advice. We picked his brains regularly, and his advice was always considered, freely given, supportive, and always spot on. He was fascinating and fun to be with, a mine of information on so many things, not just music, but history, politics, Norwich past and present, movies, show business, Ibiza. And he was enthusiastic and interested in people generally, and in us. He was a great listener, and conversations would be followed up with keen observations and insightful questions on the next visit. Albert loved getting out and about in his beloved Norwich, especially the eateries, and we spent many happy times at a table with him, John, Karen and Tony. If somewhere new and hip was opening, Albert would be the first to know all about it and be keen to try it out and to give them a few tips. He'd always take a genuine interest in the waiter or waitress and would soon have them revealing all kinds of stuff about their lives. Albert dared to go where the rest of us feared to tread, and it opened so many interesting doors. Also, you could pretty much guarantee that everywhere we went, someone would know Albert and would be keen to spend some time with him and share old memories of his Black Anna days or his Jacquard Club days. Albert had a rock star personality and would sweep in and out of these venues in his cowboy hat, his silver-studded trousers, from America of course, and his long black coat. He could instantly add glamour anywhere he went, and it felt like an honour to be part of his entourage. Once, leaving a restaurant in St Benedict's, we found ourselves confronted by quite a rowdy gang of young men, quite intimidating, blocking our way. Albert swept up to them, coat-tail flying, and pronounced, "Coming through," in a deep stately voice, and they parted like magic. And then they walked along behind us, chatting to Albert as if they'd just become part of his gang. Whenever we have to squeeze through a crowd or just push past each other in our house, we still say in Albert voice, "Coming through." When we sit down to eat delicious food, we still say, "Mmm," in the special way Albert had of imitating one of his favourite movies, All About Bob. And in all these little ways, Albert will be with us for the rest of our lives. Albert was the best kind of friend. We could say absolutely anything to him and get 100% honest, caring response, whether he agreed with you or not. And either way, you never felt judged harshly by him. He would still love you, despite it all, and we loved him for that. Albert was a creative and a dreamer, and yet still a realist. He saw the world as it was, and he didn't sugarcoat it. In a sometimes unkind and dysfunctional world, how easy it would be to despair at human nature and human frailty. How easy it would be to become cynical and hard. But Albert never lost his humanity, and we never saw him be anything but kind and full of love for his fellow humans. He never let himself become a grumpy old man. And perhaps that was the secret to his perpetual youth. It's a lesson that the Bobs will remember, with thanks and love for our dear friend.